Right, as usual, I start filming, and my little gizmoid colon turns up. Hello, gizmoid colon. He's gorgeous. I love this thing. He gives me a good reputation, doesn't he? He's always on camera, just being lovely. Shows I'm not lying when I tell you how much I love him. Look at him, hello, mate. Right. Oh. So I went to my favourite humans last night. And it was, we chatted about a lot of stuff. We watched comedy, we had dinner. I've not seen her in the evening for quite a while. It was lovely. It was lovely, but we did sort of get chatting. And it was just one of the things that she said, and she was talking about how, like, she has known me years. She knew me right sort of at the end of my alcoholism. She knew me sort of during my kind of, I'm still just a party head days. Like, I met her on the club scene, and then she knew me, like, I didn't see her for a while. She moved away for quite a while, a few years, and then we got back in touch like 10 years ago. And she was talking about when she knew me sort of then, and just making a few comparisons, and she's like, you're a totally different person. Not a different person, so it's still you. But she was one of the people that used to say, God, when you leave, I'm like, oh, just worn out. But I think these days people are worn out with the negativity. She was worn out with, like, just the conversations we used to have that were just mental, just mad, just really kind of heavy, thought-provoking, all of that sort of stuff. Nobody. It just made me really sad. It made me really weirded out. Because I shared a post the other day on Facebook when I was all dressed in white at a white party. Like, for people, like, for about 2 years after that party, seriously, people would say, were you the dude dressed in white at Remedy? Yeah, that was me. Because it was, you know, I was dazzling. Dazzling. I was a fucking, what's it called, advert? Washing powder. But it was my energy as well. It was my energy. It was just awful. It was, what was it? It was just around the start of 2016, I think. Yeah, it was just, and I'd failed a placement right at the start of my third year. I'd finished the second year on a 2-1, doing well, decent placement. My portfolio was just under a 2-1. Everything was okay. And then 3 weeks into the next year, I fucked it and just totally failed. Like, didn't even get to complete the placement. Had 3 weeks off. And I very nearly quit. In actual fact, in my head, I did quit. That was when Little Rock got chatting to me, and she kept me in the game. That's when she became my Little Rock, because at that time she was chatting to me quite a lot, and she was a Little Rock. And then I was also scared of my dissertation. Like, my marks weren't great for essays. I'm not a writer. And I got a 2-1 for it. And just, I don't know, everything I just felt fucking powerful. I wrote it in 5 days. That's naughty. That was a huge fucking risk. But I don't know, just everything else just started coming together, just in that way that you can't describe. And it just made me think about Saturday. Like, a lot of other people have talked about Saturday and said it was a really good night. And, you know, I'm not saying it was a shit night. I'm saying I didn't tune into it, so I didn't have a good experience. I'm not slagging off the club, the promoter, the people. Well, it was the people that were doing my head in, not the people who were nice to me, not my friends, not the people who were positive. But for me, there was just a really strange atmosphere in there. And the thing is, it was the same club. It was the same fucking club. was where I was dressed in white, and I was actually dressed probably even more strikingly. I don't know, white is a big, when you've got lights on. That's why they have white parties, because you're supposed to put the UV lights on. And I was literally the only person all in what I was white. I had white boots, I had white socks, white trousers. There's just a bits of silver on, like day glow. A white t-shirt, which was like a mattress topper. It was like a mattress topper. White bandana, I just did have black on it. White earrings that I'd bought. A white watch that still got somewhere. I bought it for that party. White gloves, white bracelets, a white chain around my neck, and a white hat. And white pants. No one even asked me. I thought someone would say, surely your boxers must be, and I was going to pull up my nice white silky boxers. But alas, I didn't get to be exhibitionistical and show everyone my pants. But yeah, I was, like I said, a lot of comments were made, and it was, I had my eye makeup, but my hair is pretty distinctive. I don't see anyone else with it. I don't know. I like to think it's a totally original hairstyle, a braided mohawk. The lady at Chi Chi, she's so cool. She's so cool. She's like, I don't know if any of you remember Rusty Lee, or I don't know the name of her, but the African comedian. And when she talks about her mother, beat them with pots and pans, other children. Beat them with other children. She's that type of personality. She's just so lovely. Like, after I've been to a shop once, the second time I came in, she's like, oh, she comes and gives me a big hug. She's a lovely, lovely woman. But she's never done one. It is a little bit wider than a mohawk now. Well, it's a mohawk at the moment. It's going to be wider. But it's still quite thin at the back. And yeah, braided and wrapped mohawk, I don't think has been done. So yeah, my hair is distinctive. But I felt hugely like I didn't fit on Saturday, massively like I didn't fit. And then it just sort of makes you think, is it all in your head, like everyone tells you? I don't think it is. I think it's when you're carrying your personal power. That's what it is, when you're holding your own power. And power is a very misconstrued word, particularly in like relationships and the gender battle. They think it's power over another, and men need to feel powerful, and that's dominating women. Like, no, men and women need to feel powerful because they need to connect with their personal power. Power isn't something over another. That is dominion. You have dominion over another person. None of you can speak English, can you? You don't have power over another. You have dominion. Power is what you're able to do. Like the power rating of a drill is what the drill is able to do. Whether it's 800 watt or 1500 watt, that's its power output. That's what it's capable of. That's what your power is. And I ain't holding a lot at the moment. And, if my favourite human watches this one, I know she watches, you didn't make me sad at all, okay? There's nothing that you need to be sorry about. I'm saying this to her because she is so lovely, and she hates the fact that she would hate the fact that she said something that upset me. Just because she's such a kind person, she would feel gutted that she upset me. But no, it was a reflection. It was just an honest and simple reflection of how things are, and that's normal. But when I put the post on Facebook about the white one, I said I miss this dude because it's just, he had something that I don't have anymore. But I can feel him in me. And, I don't know what, obviously the success, like I was really chuffed when I got that 2-1 for my dissertation. It was the first essay I'd had marked at level 6, which is where they do take the marking criteria up a notch from the year before. And it was the longest essay I'd ever written. It was only a little one. It was only 5,000 words, not a 10,000 word. It's not a real dissertation. But it was marked at the same sort of level. It was the same type of analysis going on. And synthesis and reflection and formulation of ideas and all sorts of shit like that. But, you know, it was having that confidence in the first place to write it and just know. And like on that, you know, let's just say it went in on a Friday, I started it in earnest on a, no, hang on, because I rung my brother about it on a Sunday. I think it was in the next day. So I'd started it on like the Wednesday or Thursday, the day before. And I just did it. And again, I was on ADHD meds. This is why I'm considering going back on them, because I've tried other stuff. And it works a bit, I think. I don't know. There's levels of ADHD. There's degrees to which it affects your life, like I keep saying. So, you know, and not every medicine works for every person the same. The thing about ADHD meds was they made me feel really sketch, and it was them, I think, that started to make me really feel like I didn't fit in. Because I had other people talking about it. It was Concerta I was on. Concerta I was on then. And I came off them, and I went on Equatim, and they're like the same drug but a different formulation. So it's just one of those weird things when you look in chemistry that the O is on the other side of the C and that sort of shit. And maybe that makes a difference. But I just kept, I don't know, I didn't feel as bad on those Equatim. They were all right. But, you know, my doctor has discussed when I started doing the DBT, which, you know, the girl said was intense. The girl that had done it said it is really intense. And maybe I will, I don't know. It's a huge thinkoid. But the fact is, no, that's it. When my favourite human was referring to the long conversations, that was just before uni. Because the hours I used to work, I'd quite often have days off during the week. And if it was a Thursday, I went to see her. And then I remember the last time I went up there before uni and said, that's it now, there's probably going to be no more Thursdays because I'm going to uni. She's like, you traitor. But I was a different person at uni. She didn't see me as much then. I still went to see her, still stayed in touch, but can't remember quite when she moved back down here. I need to ask her that. But yeah, I don't know, that when I put that post up, I wasn't just referring to that night, I was referring to just in general, the stuff that was happening, the people I was attracting, the stuff that wasn't bothering me that used to, and I just was flying. I was fucking flying. And that's why I had that extra something that night that made me like stand out. Even it wasn't just the white, you know, it wasn't just the standing out. You are so gorgeous, Gizmo. I saw you do a little eye smile at me. He's looking at me, aren't you? Hello. Beautiful boy. So yeah, it's a little bit of still sort of reflection when you get yourself fed back like that and you just think, yeah, she's right. She is right. There's a big bit of my fucking fire's gone out. All right, Gez, I think they've seen you. I think someone fancies a bit more breakfast. I have fed him this morning. But I think he's into a little bit more. So I shall end this now. Say goodbye, Gez. Bye.